Now, please, let me advise you. As a young man, as a young woman, grow large in your spirit. Grow very large. Give yourself to fasting. Give yourself to prayer now.
Ek, as in Ekleaza. Are you there? Now, this Ek means source. This Ek means origin. You know, Ecclesia means the called out ones were called from, were called out. Ek means origin. Ek means source. So the first test that we need to run on every church is what we call the source test. Because when Jesus comes on inspection, he does not inspect at face value. He does not inspect how the colors are blended in the church hall and the maze of architectural design. When he comes, his judgment goes beyond face value. He judges from the standpoint of source. The name he calls a thing will be drawn from the exposition of its source. So Jesus called these ones, he traced them to the devil. Oh my, you're not following. Because of source. So we need to find out how that ministry started. Because there is no way you can start wrong and then end right. Are you still following me? Remember, the Bible says that there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit. There are diversities of administrations, or there are diversities of services, but it is the same Lord. And there are diversities of operations, but it is the same God that worketh all in all. That means the umpire for gifts is the Spirit. The umpire for services or ministry or callings is Jesus. And the umpire for territorial operations is the Father. That's division of labor among the members of the Godhead. The only true source of ministry is Jesus, the Lord of the harvest. Oh, you are not following. Now, so if Jesus is the source of ministry, it means that your ministry cannot be different from the kind of ministry he had when he was here. Because the Bible says that he was taken. Are you with me? He was taken from prison and from judgment. Who shall declare his generation? That means his life was cut short quickly. So he's looking for people to continue his ministry. So anything you are doing is supposed to be a continuation of what Jesus did. So if we find manifestations that are contrary to the pattern, can we go? If we find such manifestations and such things, because today we have so many extra biblical practices in the Pentecostal church, because the presence of prophets and apostles, genuine prophets and apostles, are lacking. So gradually we began to migrate into the synagogue. Strange doctrines that the apostles did not preach. We see them now, and people celebrate on Facebook. Sometimes when you look at what people celebrate, you know that we have been bewitched. It will take bewitchment for us to celebrate this kind of thing when God did not leave himself without a witness, because Jesus is our pattern. The apostles, they received direct dealings from him and instructions from him. So they are also our examples. And we have somebody doing ministry and the principles by which he's doing ministry, the objective of the ministry is different from the patterns that we have, you cannot be right. And don't get me wrong, if it's not church, then it's the synagogue of Satan. Let me read something to you from my script. The source determines both the way and the result. The strategies that people employ. Are you there? The strategies they can employ is a proof of the source that they derive from. And the choices they make will derive from the source, and it is the source that will determine the result. The other day, somebody was telling me about a pastor. The pastor came to a certain country, came with a lot of money, and he was going about trying to buy a church. Now, maybe if you are not with me, he will call his pastor. Okay, can we negotiate on how to? This church want to buy it, so can you, with the members, with the members. So it means that Apostle Paul went to Corinth with his tent making money to buy a congregation. See, the method the person was willing to employ is because of the source. Because the source determines the way, and the source will determine what? The result. So when you see people with methods, just know that the method is a revelation of the source.
Now, please, let me advise you. As a young man, as a young woman, grow large in your spirit. Grow very large. Give yourself to fasting. Give yourself to prayer now.